I hope you guys don't feel got by that bankruptcy video. I know some of you guys watch YouTube, see people sitting in nice houses, and you think, man, that guy don't pay his bills. He's one of those people who takes people's money and doesn't give them what they're supposed to get, and that's why he sits up there in that nice house. And that's not the way to be. I don't think that's the way to be. But I know people think that. And it's okay that they think that, because there are a lot of people out there like that. But it's never too late. Those people could pay their bills, trust me. You could just say to yourself right now, hey, I owe that guy money. I didn't pay him. I'm sitting here in my nice house. I got a lot of money. And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna pay that guy who I took that money from, told him I'd pay back, and never paid him back. Because that is a good way to be in life. I got this fancy little stand for my camera now, so when I walk around, it's not so shaky. Well, I'm sorry to mess with you guys with that talk about my bankruptcy. I mean, I did talk to a bankruptcy attorney for real. Dude was over on maybe like Livingston Street over in Brooklyn. My friend Greg, who's also a fireman, recommended me to him, because he's like, man, you got to go see an expert on this bankruptcy stuff. He's like, my friend Greg, also a lawyer, but he didn't do bankruptcy work. So he recommended I see somebody. So I went and seen that dude. I can't remember his name anymore, otherwise I'd recommend him, because he was a pretty smart guy. But okay, so I'll get back to my usual posting of things, talking about marketing and all that stuff. I just think that sometimes people shoot themselves in the foot, because they'll start off in a business spending money on all kinds of stuff, and they don't think to themselves, hey, I shouldn't be spending money on this crazy stuff. I should make some money first, get the revenues to pay for the expenses, and then build the business from there. Instead, they say to themselves, let me take out some debt. I'll use this credit card to buy myself a course. I'll get myself an LLC, and I'll get a business, and I'll have an address and all that. When that's just nonsense. You could have an LLC, doesn't mean anything. If you're not have customers paying for stuff and you're actually doing real work, your LLC is just a piece of paper. It might as well be toilet paper, to be honest with you. Toilet paper is more useful than LLC paperwork if you're not using it. Sorry to paint that picture in your mind. So, yeah. So actually, there's a there's a website called the Fastlane Forum. MJ DeMarco wrote some books. Millionaire Fastlane was one of the books. Unscripted was another one. I read all the books. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. You should get on that. Read those books. But he has this thing in his books that he calls action faking. Basically, that's like the kind of thing like where you go and purchase yourself a desk and a computer, and you get yourself like a nice van with a sign on it, and you'll be like, this is my business. Meanwhile, you don't have any business. You've done nothing. That's called action faking. And I'm a victim of that as well. I've done that to myself too, where you're basically shooting yourself in the foot. You're saying, I'm going to open up this LLC, I'm going to do this work, and then you don't do anything. It's not the way to be. Instead, look at this belly, man. I need to work on this belly. Getting a little rotund over here. My wife had me eating all these restaurants this week. I'm missing my 51-year-old version of a six-pack, which is like a six-pack with a bunch of Twinkies sitting on top of it. But still, better than what I got right now. What was I saying again? I was talking about MJ DeMarco. Oh, action faking. So you're a victim of your own behavior in that case. Like you're behaving against your own interests. You're wasting your time to open up an LLC. You're taking valuable resources that you could use to find new customers, and instead you're spending it on bullshit courses. There's nothing wrong with a course if you really feel like you got to take a technical heavy course to get into something. You've done all the YouTube videos, you've talked to 100 people about it, you still feel like you're missing something, jump into the course. But make sure you don't start taking 3, 4, 5 courses right afterwards. Use that. Whatever you learn, make sure you use it. I would say the best case scenario in the beginning is find somebody who who needs your services and practice on them for free. Hopefully they're not, relying upon you for their livelihood, but you're both in a situation where you need something. Maybe they need help with Facebook ads and they don't feel, maybe they feel lazy and they don't want to do it themselves, and you're willing to watch the video and jump in their ads manager and do it for them. That's what I did for people. That's how I got good at it. I got good at it because somebody said, yeah, run ads, run ads. You know how to do it? I was like, yeah, I know how to do it. I didn't know how to do it. But I wasn't charging for money anyway. They were like, $50 a day. Gave me a credit card. I set their account up. Shortly thereafter, website was doing $85,000 a week. I announced their website on my Facebook page. The first 2 days of their website was almost all of my friends buying their stuff. I saw their orders going through, almost all of my friends buying their stuff. And after that, my friends just bought up because my friends are pretty cool people. They all support me, friends and family. But I wouldn't say all. There was a lot of my friends in their orders. Not all of them. They definitely had more than my orders, but there was a bunch of my friends in the orders, maybe a couple of grand's worth. And so then the next thing you know, I was running their ads too, and I was like, so I had access to everything, and I was watching, and I was just like, whoa, man, this Shopify business can just take off. And I was just throwing money into the ads manager, just throwing money, and I didn't really know what I was doing. I had like lookalike audiences. I had like 10 campaigns. I had like, I was doing every kind of campaign, reach campaign, awareness campaign. I was doing conversion campaigns. I was doing every kind of campaign you could imagine. I didn't even know what I was doing, but I was watching a lot of videos, and eventually I kind of got a grasp for what was going on. And I definitely wasted some money, but they didn't really have a professional in place to take over. I was the dude. And I will tell you this too. They did find a professional after I left, and that professional charged them 5-figure retainer, right? 4 figures, no, 4, yeah, 5-figure retainer. 5-figure retainer a month. He didn't do as good as me. He didn't do nearly as good as me. And I think that's probably because maybe he wasn't a professional. There are people out there who pretend to be professionals and they're not. He talked a good game. He convinced me on the phone when they sent him to talk to me about what they call like the pass it along. When you have an account and you're a new person, the brand basically says to me, hey, you're fired, get out. But they say, hey, do us a favor, just sit with this guy for 15 or 20 minutes and relay to him anything he needs to know about the account. So I got on the phone with the guy, and he seemed to know what he was doing. He had an office address in, I don't know, in Ohio or someplace like that. He had a website that said, I do Facebook ads. I've spent $50 million, something along those lines. And he seemed to know the game, but performance sucked. So I gave it to him, and then I ended up getting that account back later on. And so what was the point of that? I can't even remember what the point of that was. The point of that is, man, just be careful, because people can talk a good game, but they can't deliver sometimes. And I would say, if you're starting out your business and you don't want to end up in bankruptcy, get a customer before you get an expense. That's it. End of story. Get a customer before you get an expense. Get a free customer. Offer free work to people. That's my favorite thing to do. I work for free. I don't have any problem working for free. I'll just tell them I quit. You know what I mean? When I'm done working for free. But I want to learn, so I'll take the free work on, and then in exchange, I get the experience and I get the expertise to doing that skill without using my own money to do it. And then I can go, hey, like I'll give you, for instance, I offered to this young dude to run his Facebook ads for his agency. I have never run Facebook ads for an agency. Why would I offer to run Facebook ads for an agency when I'm running $300,000 worth of DTC ads right now? Why would I offer for free to do his $25, $50 a day budget? Well, there's a very simple reason. Because pretty soon I'm going to be opening up an agency business. And when I open up my agency business, I don't want to learn how to use Facebook ads to run agency ads on my money. So I said to the kid, hey, why don't you run ads? Because he was asking me how he gets business and Reddit. He said, how do I get like you? How do I get all busy and whatever? And I was like, well, I never started up an agency, so I can't really tell you, but I gave him what I would try to do, like take my DTC knowledge and apply it to agency model. But it doesn't match up. It's not perfect. It's just like, hey, do this. So he was just like, well, I don't know how to run ads. Could you do it for me? And I'm like, that's right, I can. I'll run your ads for you. You can tell me what your budget is. Give me the creative. Let me make up some ads. I got an ads guy who does creatives, who does beautiful creatives. So I'm going to give him his photographs, his case studies, his copy. I'm going to take his, his KPIs and his USP statements, and I'm going to write copy from it myself. And maybe I'll actually hire a copywriter to do that, because he's paying for it anyway. Maybe I'll mix some of it with my stuff and some up with the copywriter stuff, and we'll run them side by side in 2 separate campaigns and see 2 separate ad sets and see how they do. But the point of that is that I'm going to learn how to run an agency lead getting business without spending my own money. Because you could run all the DTC ads you want. There's going to be some inefficiency when you switch over to agencies. So you might as well learn on somebody else's dime. That's just a little tip. So get a customer before you get an expense, and get some experience in the thing that you need to do before you try to do it for yourself. Thank you.